Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we decode the complex world of corporate finance. And today we are diving into BioCardia Incorporated's latest filing. And let me tell you, it looks like they've been busy raising capital and securing their future path forward with some interesting strategic moves. Before we jump in, if you enjoy these deep dives into what really moves the market, be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. Also, make sure to join our Discord community linked in the description below for even more exclusive content and real-time discussions. So what is the big news from BioCardia Incorporated? It seems they've just wrapped up a significant stock and warrant offering that could provide them with the fuel they need for their upcoming projects. Let us break this down. On the 19th of September of 2025, BioCardia Incorporated sold nearly 5 million shares of their common stock, along with warrants that allow buyers to purchase even more shares. They sold these at a combined price of $1.25 per share and warrant. This whole deal is called an offering, and it was made possible through what they call purchase agreements. Now, the really important number here is the net proceeds. After all the fees and costs associated with this offering, BioCardia Incorporated is expected to bring in about $5.1 million. That is a decent chunk of change that they can use to fund their operations and future growth. It is like they just got a financial boost to keep their engine running strong. What is also interesting is that some of the company S-owned leaders, their directors, and executive officers also bought into this offering. They purchased over 734,000 shares and warrants, showing their confidence in the company S direction. This purchase brought in close to $900,000 to the offering. When the insiders buy it, often signals that they believe the company S stock will do well in the future. Now let's talk about what they agreed to do, or rather what they agreed not to do. For about 2 months until the 18th of November of 2025, BioCardia Incorporated promised not to issue any more new shares or announce any plans to do so. They also agreed not to file any new registration statements except for a few specific types related to ongoing sales or employee stock plans. Think of this as a quiet period to let this recent funding settle in without flooding the market with more stock, which could devalue what they just sold. The placement agent, which is H.C. Wainwright and Co. Incorporated, might be able to waive these restrictions, but it is their call. They also made a commitment not to issue any securities that have what is called a variable rate until March of 2026. A variable rate transaction often means something tied to the stock price or other market factors, making it potentially more dilutive or unpredictable. This restriction is also a way to create stability and predictability around their share structure. However, they can still do an at-the-market offering after the 18th of November, which is a way for companies to sell stock gradually over time through a broker. Let's look at these warrants a bit closer. Each warrant can be used to buy a share of common stock for $1.25, which is the same price they were sold at. These warrants are not going to last forever, though. They expire on the 20th of September of 2027. This gives the people who bought them over a year and a half to decide if they want to exercise them and buy more stock. Here is a crucial detail about the warrants. A buyer can exercise their warrants if it would cause them to own more than 4.99% of the company. S total outstanding shares. They can choose to increase this limit to 9.99% before the warrants are issued. This is a common anti-takeover or anti-concentration measure to prevent a single large shareholder from gaining too much control too quickly through exercising warrants. It ensures a more distributed ownership structure. If you want to see the exact wording of these warrants and purchase agreements, you can find them filed as exhibits to this report. Think of these as the actual legal documents that lay out all the nitty-gritty details of this deal. Here is Exhibit 4.1, which is the form of the warrant, and Exhibit 99.1 is the form of the securities purchase agreement signed on the 18th of September 2025. These are the contracts that make everything happen. So what does this all mean for BioCardia Incorporated? They've successfully raised a significant amount of cash, which is vital for any company, especially in the biotech space where research and development can be very expensive. The restrictions on issuing more stock provide a period of stability, which is good for current shareholders. The insider buying also sends a positive signal. The warrant structure with its ownership limits is a common practice to manage share concentration. Looking at the broader picture, BioCardia is positioning itself for future growth and development with this capital infusion. The key will be how effectively they deploy this $5.1 million. Are they investing in promising research? Are they expanding their operations? Or are they shoring up their balance sheet? The company S direction seems to be focused on strengthening its financial foundation to support its long-term goals. The risks here are always there with any biotech company, the success of their R&D pipeline, and the ability to navigate regulatory hurdles. However, this funding round significantly reduces the immediate financial pressure and allows them to focus on their core business. In conclusion, BioCardia Incorporated has executed a well-timed capital raise that provides them with essential resources and a period of financial stability. The insider participation and the structure of the warrants suggest a thoughtful approach to this funding. It is a positive step that sets them up for continued operations and potential advancements. Alright, that is our breakdown of BioCardia Incorporated's latest filing. What is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.